In our last segment, we started the roof replacement process on this 17-year-old home and learned about the contractor training programs that are now being offered by roofing manufacturers like GAF. With more knowledge, better workmanship skills, and improved products, select GAF contractors can now offer elite warranties that cover both labor and product for up to 50 years. So let's once again catch up with Andy Lindis from Lindis Construction out at the job site to learn more about this new roofing system. Well, Andy, we've said it throughout today's show. This crew is experienced. They are flying on this job.
Yeah, all the underlayments are going on right now. Hopefully, by the end of the day, we got a brand new roof on here. Everything 100% done.
Okay, let's talk about the importance of a tear-off. When you're tearing off shingles, I know in previous shows you said it's not just tearing off shingles. It's really a choreographed routine, and it's a very important stage of the process.
You don't want shingles flying all over the house. We want to designate one or two specific areas. So as you're removing the shingles, you're actually taking the chunk of shingle and going to that area. So not only is the people on the ground safe, you're going to make sure that you're going to minimize the whole cleanup process of the job.
You know, that's a good safety conscious company. And when we talk to homeowners and say, be educated, ask those questions, ask how safe are they on the job. I see these ones are even tied off.
Every single one of our guys has to wear a harness. So they're tied off. The last thing we want to do is to have some kind of an accident where a person falls off a roof. This is just a way of protecting not only the homeowner, us as the company, but most importantly, our guys installing the roof.
Boy, and again, these guys are trained professionals, but accidents can happen. And that brings up my next question. Should a homeowner be concerned with insurance with a contractor? Is that something they should even ask?
You should absolutely ask it. And you know what? Never take a person's word for it. Tell them you want to see your certificate. In fact, I would recommend you want to get the certificate mailed, emailed, faxed to you directly from the insurance company, not from the contractor.
Boy, that's some good advice. So a good reputable contractor should have nothing to hide.
No.
They should actually appreciate you asking that, because you're looking for the best of the best after all with that Master Elite status.
Exactly. There's a lot of ways people try to cut corners in our business. One is on training, two on safety equipment, and three on insurance. Insurance is expensive. You want to put on a roof that's going to be really cheap, get rid of the insurance. You're going to be able to do it a lot less, and a guy like me is going to be able to do it for you.
Boy, that's good advice right there. Make sure you ask the pertinent questions when you're selecting a contractor. You know, and as we talk about the tear-off stage, that gives your crew an opportunity to inspect that underlayment. And as I look up there, those where the turtle vents were, it looks like it's rotted out around there.
A lot of times we see this, you know, almost on every single roof we end up having to replace, you know, 4 or 5 sheets of the actual sheeting itself. And a lot of it has to do with the perforations, the flashing kits that were used in the previous installation. It's not just the turtle vent, it's how you install the shingles and the underlayment around that turtle vent in order to shed that water. So you can see every single spot, a little bit of rotten roof, not a big deal. A little extra time, we're actually going to have to replace the sheeting around there, but when it's all said and done, they'll never have to worry about that again, that's for sure.
Again, the homeowner just got to give them the ultimate peace of mind, not having to worry about situations like that. And with the ridge vent, they're not going to have to worry, even though there would be an opening on top.
That's right, Stu. The ridge vent, see, it's at the very top of the roof, which is where you should be venting your roof. That's where all the hot air is going anyways, so you want to be able to get that out. And it's at the very top, so it's going to be real easy to control any kind of moisture, because you don't have water coming directly into that vent. It's all shedding away and going to where the water wants to go, which eventually in this house will be the leaf guard gutters.
A little earlier, I saw Corey up here, Andy, and he was removing some siding. Now, you didn't say you were removing the siding. What's going on up here?
There's 3 main spots roofs tend to fail with leaking. 1 is anytime there's a perforation in the actual roof itself. 2, valley areas. 3, anytime you have a roof that comes into the side of a house or into the siding, you can usually go inside there and you can see exactly where that roof leaked. What's happening, you have your sidewall, which is usually a 2x4 wall. It doesn't have a lot of insulation. The roof is nicely insulated, and it's nice and cold. That snow and ice builds up on that sidewall, starts to melt. Water only has to go up about 4 inches before it sneaks behind your step flashing, and then there you go, brown spot on the ceiling.
Okay, so even though as I look up there, the step flashing goes up, it's nicely caulked along there with some roofing cement, that isn't good enough?
No, it's not good enough because, again, they're only overlapping each other about 4 inches. So you got ice and snow built up there. Water sitting behind that. Water keeps building up, building up, building up. It goes 4 inches. It's back to the actual roofing deck itself or into the siding itself. Find its way out. It's leaking through your ceiling.
So what options are there for a homeowner to alleviate that problem?
Well, once we remove all the siding and take down, you can see the foam inside there and the roofing itself, we're actually going to remove all that step flashing. Then we're going to take our Weather Watch leak barrier and come into the sidewall, go up the sidewall about 1.5 feet, and then put our step flashing over the top of that. So even if water gets behind our step flashing, it's got to get behind that leak barrier.
And that's going to be one of the areas that the inspector from GAF is going to come out and take a careful, close look at, because if they're backing it for 50 years, that sounds like a pretty important area.
Yeah, it's definitely part of their 40-point checklist.
Stick around. We'll be installing the underlayment components that go into a roof system next, when we continue with today's Home Remodeler.